is Asake Online. Welcome to Agriculture on Site. From oyster to shiitake to button, mushrooms are enjoyed as a delicacy all over the world. But have you ever wondered how they are produced? Well, let's take a deep dive into this particular world of mushroom farming.
The housing for mushrooms is actually the garden. That's where you grow your mushrooms. That is the garden. So it is basically necessary. You cannot start mushroom production without any housing. Now we have different types of housing. Mushroom housing is not quite a difficult thing to have or maybe construct. In the beginning, you can always convert a room that is there at home into a mushroom garden, a mushroom hub. You can also construct makeshift hubs outside in the yard if you need to have something simple and cheap enough, because you have to reduce the cost in this business. Now, you can also purchase wooden cabins as a mushroom hub where you can grow your mushrooms. So there are quite a variety of mushroom houses. It all now depends on what you want to use as your hub. We also encourage a certain process whereby if a person wants to start mushroom growing, we actually encourage the person to invite us to come and see and inspect their place where they intend to do a mushroom hub or maybe convert a room into a hub. Some convert even garages into mushroom hubs, even a shade where it's a carport. You can convert it into a mushroom hub by actually modifying it into that structure.
And what should they look out for when they are choosing, the housing? For example, if you don't have a garage, or could you partition your place, or could you actually make a container and use that?
Yes, they can use actually any type, but it is always best that the choice of the housing becomes a little bit excluded from the rest, especially one now wants to convert a room into a mushroom hub. It has to be an excluded room that is more like away from the rest of the activity. Mushrooms don't like much of a disturbance. They need to be quiet on their own so that they can grow very well. So even if you convert a garage, you can use a container. You can use even grass huts if it's in the rural areas. You can use grass huts. You can use reeds to construct a shed for your mushrooms. The only thing that will be needed now is that that place must be disinfected thoroughly and also maybe lined up with some black plastic to protect from any intruders that can come through.
You actually grow a lot of mushrooms that are ready for the market. Any value addition?
Yes, very much, very much. We do not want to actually have anything that we say we throw away in mushrooms, or maybe mushrooms are a very perishable product. We all know that. So we don't really like a situation whereby one has not managed to get time to consume or maybe sell the mushroom, and now the mushrooms are going a little bit bad. They are no longer fresh. So we encourage actually to dry the mushrooms. So in terms of value addition, we will dry the mushrooms, save from any losses if you didn't sell all the quantities. And also after drying them, you can spice them in the process as you dry them, so that they can be black pepper mushrooms that are dry. They can be barbecue mushrooms that are dry. You can also say try them with any other dried vegetables that you want to add, like chili. You want to add garlic. In terms of when we are packing now, selling dried mushrooms, that's when we add those other things like chili, garlic, spices in sachets, so that the person will be able to actually get more like a package to just go and cook one time at the same time.
Talk about drying. How do you actually dry them? Put them out in the sun, or you put them in the oven, or?
Right, anyway, from my knowledge from learning from here, It's actually, mushrooms are not good when you dry them in the direct sunlight. They tend to lose taste. So mushrooms only need to be dried maybe indoors. You can just put them on a tray in a just simple plastic container or small dish. Then you leave them somewhere towards the window where there's a little bit of air that is blowing around so that they dry gradually. Yeah, not like very quickly, but they don't take too long to dry. They can dry over maybe 2 days, 3 days only, but they don't need direct sunlight. It tends to damage their taste at the end of the day. Then also for us, we have a very big dryer outside whereby you can dry them in that solar dryer. You can put them inside. They test some shelves where you can actually try separate vegetables at the same time. Put your mushrooms on 1, 2, 3 shelves. You can put either cabbage there. You can do any other vegetable. It's actually a solar dryer that you works in a process whereby it blows in just warm air so that the vegetables or the mushrooms will dry quicker.
Sounds a very easy business, and maybe well, I hope I'm correct to say also easy money to actually go into a mushroom enterprise. But I'll be really interested to know if what kind of a basic or minimum investment can one put aside to go into mushroom production.
Okay. It doesn't need a lot of money, mushrooms. Like she said, it's a business whereby you can use those basic things that you can gather up around. Basically, if the seasons are very good, you have maize harvests, you have a lot of harvests in the fields, you get groundnuts, you get all the other kind of substrate. You can actually acquire substrate cheaper or freely from your own fields. Then the only other cost that you might have are only to purchase the packagings, those plastic packagings, and maybe the seed as well, and the containers whereby you have to do your disinfection and soaking. So it doesn't consume much actually to start mushrooms. And there are sort of like packages when we do trainings. She does trainings. She offers people packages so that they affordable ones. She can offer a package of about $60, whereby she will give you a full coat of planting, maybe as much as about 30 to 35 bags. She can offer you a package of about maybe $90, where one wants to plant about 40 to 50 bags. So it depends on how many kids after the training that you see, how many kids you want to plant, then we'll be able to give you a quote, a package of how much you can use, you can put into that. But it's all around beginners, we always start around $60 in the list.
Also, tell me, I noticed that we've actually formalized your business, and if you could actually tell us more about that and how did you come about making the formal business, and are you exporting?
I'll say on that part, she worked a lot actually to bring herself up to this stage where mushrooms. I remember in the beginning when we started the whole thing, I wasn't trained, she was trained, so I was just helping like somebody helping in the garden. We actually had a great loss, and I was nearly discouraged. Yeah, and she was also nearly discouraged, but we went back to sit together and said, look, maybe there's some one thing that we didn't do right. We are still learning. That's a learning curve. Let's carry on and redo. And she came up with the idea of training other people as a way also of raising funds for the business so that it can grow. So those are some of the things that we do so that we balance up the whole business. In formalization, we had a company before that was there. It was now a shelf company. We couldn't run it while we were to go to work with no capital to start it up, but it was registered in 2008. So when this idea came up of doing mushroom production, we just took up that company and revived it and started to focus on the mushroom business specifically. because it was easier to take it step by step and rise up the ladder.
What else are you anticipating will be mushrooming in this business?
I think we would like to do some more products in the process of mushroom. Like first of all, in the drying part, would love to. She once brought me some samples of mushroom biltong. Yeah, it was quite a good thing, quite a good thing. So it's some things that we look into, whereby we can be able to do those snacks, and that's easier for us to keep much and also move them at a distance where they will still remain consumable. And then the other thing is we would like to extend from doing only grey oyster into other types of mushrooms. Like the nearest one to us is it could be button mushroom, and then maybe we would go to those that are medicinal for other purposes that are not for just for eating.
A spontaneous business indeed. If anybody needs to contact you, where are you reachable and where can they?
Okay, we actually located in Njube. That's where our company is. That's where it's a home business. It's like all it started. It's meant to make empower people and make people self-reliant, if I can say. So we operate from home to avoid all the other overhead costs. So you can find us at 8306 in Njube, and we have our email. It's Treace-Well 08 at gmail.com. We have a Facebook page if you can check Treace-Well. You can reach here out on 0773 635 187. For me, you can get hold of me on 0772 281 617. We also have a landline contact. It's 292 400 701.
World Food Program, together with DCA, implementing a program that is called Urban Resilience Building Project in Mzilikazi district to 6 wards that include Makokova, Mzilikazi, Iminyela, Mabutweni, Njube, Old Pumula, Sizinda, and Chabalala. The project seeks to improve the livelihoods of the beneficiaries that are being supported by the project, and also to try and eradicate this mindset of being dependent on donors or dependent just on getting support, maybe in form of cash or vouchers. So we started this program. The project was implemented in 2022. In fact, let me say 2021, around April. It started as a pilot project in 2021, and it was scaled up in 2022, where quite a large number of people were supported, close to 2,600 beneficiaries. They were supported with projects such as livelihood projects, such as poultry production, hydroponics, food processing, mushroom production, rabbitry, just to mention a few. And then what the project did was to capacity build those participants, training them with technical skills on how to run and operate their projects. All of them in mushroom production, they were trained on how to do that. And then we did not only do these trainings as WFP and TCA, but we did the trainings in collaboration with government line ministries such as Agriculture, Agritech, Ministry of Women Affairs, Ministry of Youth, just to build the linkages that we have with the government departments. And also, besides capacity build the project participants, we also provide with monitoring, weekly monitoring, monthly monitoring. Weekly monitoring is done by World Food Program together with DCA, and the monthly monitoring, it's a joint stakeholder monitoring where we engage, we involve various departments of the government. This is as a way of maybe building the exit and sustainability strategy of the program, because as donors, we don't, as NGOs, we are not in the communities forever. So we would want the government departments and private sector to participate in monitoring the projects, and it has been going on very well. And also, besides that, there were also various trainings that were conducted in business management, where the emphasis was mainly on record keeping and market linkages, right? And then we also they were also trained on start and improve your business, right? Also, another support that we are providing to our to the participants was the formalization of their enterprises. They were assisted to register their different their companies. So quite a number. I can't really mention how many people were assisted. And from those that were assisted, a certain percentage, more than 50%, they are now supplying formally to some of the shops within Bulawayo district. The support made a difference in the sense that maybe when you discuss about, when we focus on the projects that they are doing, it means that the family needs are being met. They are able to buy food for their families. They are also able to pay fees for their children. They are also able to buy even clothes, to participate in community activities. We also have a training that they were capacitated with, that is internal savings and lendings. It requires one to have money, whether weekly or monthly, for them to be able to participate in that activity. So they are now able, as they take the proceeds from their projects. Yes, and quite a number of them, they've managed to buy what you call productive assets, which they keep in their rural homes. They've been able to buy land, peri-urban or even in their rural homes. And then some, they've been even able to buy household assets, which they didn't have before. So it's like they now have the peace of mind. As they run these projects, they are not even thinking of anything that might hinder the progress. There is peace of mind for them.
Join us for a demonstration really on the growing of mushrooms.
So for training, we've just put a little bit of some substrate here so that you can see how it's done. So here we just put the maize stalks in this sack. We are putting in the sack because we don't want any dirty particles coming into the substrate. So we just come to the gate spikes and spike it there so that it can just hang and drip. So most of the time we hang a lot of bags here, but this time we just put this sample of maize stalk. So now I'm removing it because it's well drained. I just put it 2 hours ago to drain because it's easy to drain maize stalk. So it's now okay. This one, it has changed color. It's well drained. It's no longer dripping. It's no longer dripping. It's now okay. Okay. Now let's come to the process. Can you help me? So we cover this overnight so that insects or dust doesn't go inside our substrate. Like we said, mushroom iyazigqaja kakhulu. So we make sure ukuthi into zethu zilala zikhaviwe overnight zihlanzekile. And then like we spoke about the stones that we treat them. So we wash them and make sure that even if I put this stone here, it won't affect anything. So right now I have to wash my hands. This is lime water that we had soaked nutshells in it. So I'm just going to wash my hands up to there. So after washing my hands, we've got substrate that is draining that side. And then this one has to go for draining because they slept in lime water. And now you can see that the the maize stalks and leaves, they've changed the color to yellowish. They've now been treated overnight. They're now okay. We can drain this one. And then this is cottonseed house. It was drained overnight. So now I can tell that it's now okay to be drained and planting. Okay, so like you can see, the stones are clean as well. So maybe let's cover this, because yeah, it's also cottonseed house. It's also cottonseed house. So
when
for
you soak it
soaking,
overnight, you are cleaning it.
yes, we are disinfecting it. We are using hydrated lime and sodium hypochlorite. Sometimes we use formalin, so to treat it. And then it's called pasteurization, because there's two methods. You can boil the substrate, or you can use this called pasteurization, whereby you are just putting in lime and sodium hypochlorite on especially on cotton seeders. But with these maize straws, we just use lime. Yes. And then the process of planting before we go to the real crop, I mean the produce. So this is one of the cabins. It's empty. It's been taking a breather. So now we want to plant here. Can I have a bella plastic and the spawn? I'm going to put the spawn to the other side.
How long will you leave this here for?
This will be here for 21 days. And then the colonization process will take place here. This fungi, or I can say the mycelium. Now I'm using the terminology of mushrooms. The mycelium, which is the spawn itself, will take over this bag. Within that 21 days, it will be moving, and then the bag will turn white. So this bag, even if it turns white, but it's not sprouting yet, we don't water it until we see real pins of mushrooms coming out. That's when we open holes here and spray it and start watering. So normally what we do, we move them from this cabin, which is a nursery, to the fruiting one. So now we can go to the fruiting house. So when I get here, it's either I change my shoes to wear these ones, or I go in and wear the gumboots there. So for today, I'll just wear these ones. So there's a foot bath here with a chemical, which is hydrated lime. I stamp my feet there and come in. So when my mushrooms have sprouted like this, when I'm coming in here, I don't have to wear perfume, because if I wear perfume, like I said, they are breathing. They will take in that smell. And then if I sell my products to, maybe let's say, Pick and Pay, when the customers buy, they are cooking, that perfume will come up from the pot. You can actually taste and feel that there's a smell of perfume. Even if you carry them with a car that's got smelling oil, they'll take in that oil. When the customer is cooking, they'll feel that taste. So it is encouraged that you come here without any odors or anything. All right. So we keep our bucket here to control temperatures as well. Inside here, we're using a shelf method, where our mushrooms are sitting on shelves. And then you can see these ones, they sprout as in gray color like that. And then they change as they grow. And then behind me here, you can see this one is now ready for harvest. Okay, so that is the size for harvest.
What determines it now being ready?
Okay, we see with the size. But we make sure that we harvest them while the cups are still facing down. We don't want to harvest them when they are like this. So the flavor and the taste is contained in the mushrooms when they are still have this roundish shape. Okay, so these ones are ready. We've got some that are ready that side also. You can maybe peep in and just...
It's okay. You can come.
So immediately when you say they're ready, now you can package.
Yes, we can package them.
You can have this Ghana sprout layer, there's this one that is sprouted behind the door.
Okay. That's it also.
You have pins there to explain in pins.
Okay, so these are pins. When you see pins, that's when you start watering. So mushroom, they come out in flashes. So for these bags that are here, these are the second flashes we have harvested before. Then those ones at the back, they are starting. That is the first flash. We can have about 4 to 5 flashes because mushroom production is a 3-month cycle whereby you start harvesting flashes from after the 21st of incubation, and then you start watering, then you harvest up to 6 times in terms of flashes. So those ones haven't started sprouting. They are ready. They are called ready to fruit kits by the corner there. Those ready to fruit kits, they are sold as it is. Some people buy kits to go and water and sell mushrooms without planting. So we've got some ready to fruit kits, and then we've got mushrooms that are sprouting already that we are watering and selling.
So after, you said after 3, you can have this after 3 months?
Yes.
After 3 months?
After 3 months, that's when you can put them aside maybe for your family to be harvesting a little bit for their relish. And then you put more. That's why we have a nursery where they will be ready that side and coming this side. Because after every 2 weeks, we have to make sure we increase the stocks. We add some more, we add some more.
Right. So after 3 months, can you reuse that same substrate, or you?
It will be manure. We have manure outside. We're going to show you manure for our gardens. Okay. So I've got a surprise for you. You can come all and check. We are planting also on tins, which is sustainable. This is what we are taken to Sadak. So we're watering there. I'm sure you can see those mushrooms coming out there. So they'll come out from these walls as well, because they'll feel that there's air here, then they'll come from this direction. We try to use even smaller tins like this one. So we're waiting for germination from this small, already germinated. Please take a peek. And for these mushrooms in tins, we had sent a representative to Harare for SADC to go with our mushrooms in tins. Her name is Sipoma Zibugo. She was standing in at our stand for recycling. These ones, they've just sprouted yesterday. They are growing, as you can see them. We had sent Sipoma Zibugo to represent us from Bulawayo at the SADC stand for climate change and recycling, showcasing our art crafts and how sustainable we can be as women from Bulawayo. So she was there with my teens from our company, Treace-Well Enterprises.
Can you ask the one your idea to actually use the tins? Are you moving away from the plastics?
Yes, we are trying to be eco-friendly, whereby these tins, instead of throwing them away, we pick them up and we recycle by just opening walls, more extra walls, and planting mushrooms, and then they'll come out from those walls. Yes, and then after they are done with producing these ones, we wash and disinfect these tins and replant, which saves money also from buying plastics. Now we can use the same tins.
Oh, this is the dry.
Yes.
Right. So after harvesting, after you've harvested, you pack immediately?
Yes.
And then?
After harvesting, we then pack 200 grams, which we sell for $1. And then we pack the remainder of the mushrooms, and then we dry them using this solar dryer. And then we pack 50 grams for $1.
This actually It's a solar dryer. So the solar is actually for driving the motors. There are motors down there at the bottom. So the solar is actually for driving the motors. The motors then blow in the air, and this air comes through those cans. It's also another recycling process because they are used cans, which now act as a pipe whereby the air comes in through. Those cans are painted in black, and they are meant to absorb heat. So now when the air comes through, it comes through from here down there. It will be coming in as warm air. So that's what influences the drying faster. So this is actually a solar dryer. There's no elements or anything electrical that has to heat the product. It's a natural process, dried by warm air. So now I can show you this side how it's constructed. That's the solar there. The switch for switching on and off, which connects to the motors. The motors are down there, right on the side there. There are two of them, small motors. I'm quite sure they're small size motors. Then as they blow, they actually draw in air. When they draw in air, we have these cans that are joined together as a pipe. They're acting as pipes. These are solar pipes. So they are meant to absorb heat. They will be hot, and when the air passes through, it actually picks up some of the heat and goes in as warm air.
That's something that you can actually fabricate.
Yeah, it's actually a fabricated thing.
So I was thinking maybe
actually.
you're going to ask us where did you buy the machine?
Yeah. So you actually made it?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
So the machine was donated by a World Food Program and DCA from Swiss agency.
Okay.
So to us as a group for farming. But then now that others have taken other productions like they're making biopap or drinks, such things. So we are continuing with mushroom. So
it's good.
Yeah. It's actually an innovation by an engineer from Cite in Zimbabwe. It's just a guy.
Yeah, that's
and then from this stage, the mushrooms are finished. They are no longer producing. That's when we want to also go into selling of manure, because this manure is quite good, because as you can see, we eat vegetables daily from this garden. We even we've got turkeys that side, they feed on this. So every day we remove from there and give the turkeys. So this manure, we've actually tested it. We've taken it to Matobo for research too, so that we can know the pH and what, so that we can even sell it in smaller quantities, maybe 5 kg or 2 kg, at a cheaper price, of course, because the substrate was cheap as well. So as you can see, this tree. Come again. Okay. This tree is I think is about less than. It's 1.5 years.
1.5 years.
1.5, but we've been eating from this tree. So like the mushrooms, they sprout in flashes several times. So it makes the fruits also give you fruits. Like the peaches, we've eaten the peaches. They are so nice from this tree. And this is a small tree. We just planted it recently. So we feel that there is more in this manure from mushrooms. So we want it tested, and then we can now maybe go to farm shops to supply. Wow. So you can see the manure, it's here. We're keeping some on the sacks, and then this is the manure behind you. So there's actually nothing that we throw away from mushroom. You get money from the kids, you get money from selling the fresh, you get money from selling the dry, and then from the manure also, you put it in your garden.
Wow. That's wonderful. That's a circular economy. All right, thank you.
Okay.